Oh dear Joshlin, where are you? 7-year-old Joshlin Smith is still missing, months later. The Saldanha Bay child was reported missing on 19th February 2024 in the port town. Pictures of the green-eyed Joshlin went viral, leading to a furious search for the child. Members of the Patriotic Alliance, including Gating Mackenzie, came out in full force in search of the green-eyed girl and led multiple search parties in Saldanha Bay. And then Joshlin's mother was arrested amid the searches she had been part of. Now, IOL's digital journalist Robin Lee Freckle has been covering the story of Joshlin Smith and has even won a Vodacom Journalist of the Award for the remarkable work she has done in documenting, uncovering, and exposing some of the sinister forces at play. We sat down with Robin Lee to reflect on this story that has broken thousands of hearts beyond the poor community in Saldanha Bay. As we reflect on the story of Joshlin Smith, we hope and pray for her safe return one day. Can you walk us through the events leading up to Joshlin Smith's disappearance on February? What were the initial search efforts like?
Okay, look, initially, I picked up the story as, as any other missing child, because I mean, we are inundated with missing kids. It was a normal police press release. I did the story initially, and then 2 days later, somehow the story kept bothering me. So I did a follow up. And I think it was 2 or 3 days later, and this little girl was still missing. And I just had like the worst feeling, like, something's not right here. And I did another story, and eventually, I mean, the story blew up because that girl's green eyes, it stays into your soul. So it was just something I felt I had to do.
Okay, what role did Joshlin's mother, Kelly Smith, and her boyfriend play in the investigation? Like, how did the involvement shift the focus of the case?
Okay, look, so there were search parties out at the time. The community got involved. The mother was also involved, and somehow during investigations and rumors within the community, they were then suspected to have been the reason behind this child's disappearance. Jocelyn's mother's boyfriend, he was also the last one believed to have seen her because at the day of her disappearance, he was watching her because she did not go to school. She was apparently ill. So it was basically the last chain of custody. And that is why police actually looked in their direction.
Oh, and how did the community respond to Joshlin's disappearance? Were there any notable public reactions, such as protests or petitions?
Look, one thing, Saldanha is a small community, but the community all banded together in search of this child. I won't say there were protests, but the outcry for resources to be brought to the small West Coast town was there. Them calling on not just the local municipality, but SAPs with outside the Saldanha policing precinct were called to assist because, I mean, this was only a little girl, and for her to have been like nowhere for such a long period of time brought so much concern. And Saldanha is still a community where they believe your child is my child. I mean, when I visited the area, people came out in their numbers from Saldanha, from Cape Town. People came from far and wide to assist the search. And one of the biggest blessings for this case was actually social media. So, social media is not always a good thing, but in this aspect, because at the time there were rumors of human trafficking. And I mean, we've got the Saldanha Bay port on their doorstep. Everyone was afraid that this child was, taken out of the area. She's somewhere close by or in a neighboring area, and the community used social media, as a tool of resources, which was magnificent to see.
Okay. I believe that the case took a dramatic turn when it was revealed that Joshlin may have been sold for 20,000. Can you elaborate more on how the police discovered this and what the investigation into the trafficking charges revealed?
Look, initially, I had got information from a source that there were talks about Jocelyn, being sold off. Everyone disputed this fact, but I stuck with my gut and I went with it. I received a lot of backlash for it. There were talks in court because remember, when they were arrested by SAPS, they had not yet appeared in court. We only knew people were arrested. Once they appeared in the Friedenberg Magistrate Court, that is where we could hear what the exact charges were. And one of the charges is trafficking in persons, which is essentially human trafficking. And I think the twist for this case came with their last appearance, like a month or two ago, where one of the accused, because they are four, one of the accused, Laurentia Lombard, she was actually acquitted on the charges. However, the state then the state then released their indictment, with a summary of the facts. And it was revealed that Joshlin's mother had been planning, her children's disappearance 6 months in advance. So it would be since August 2023. She was planning to sell all the kids. However, on the day, it was only Joshlin that, disappeared. I think the reason why the story blew up was because in a society as South Africa, we know crime, know the heinous things that happen to kids. But I think our nation, we still do not really believe in the human trafficking factor of it all. It sounds very much like a Netflix movie. If you hear, a trafficking in person type of thing. And this was something happening on our doorstep. And I think that is what churned everyone's stomach.
Okay. There have been multiple postponements of the court case.
Mm.
What is the current status of the legal proceedings and when is the next major court date?
Okay, so there were multiple postponements. However, now the matter has been postponed until the 31st of January, but it has also been transferred to the Western Cape High Court. So on the 31st of January 2025, they will start their pre-trial hearing.
Okay. How has the issue of missing children in South Africa been highlighted through Joshlin's case? What border implications does this case have on child abductions in this country?
Look, I think it highlighted the issue that one child missing is one child too many.
Mm.
We have missing children cases every day in this country. It's not always a happy ending for these kids. And I think that because we are so inundated with these missing child posters and the usual, the Facebook messages, have you seen the child and all of that. The fact that the story has gone not just nationally but internationally, it shed the light on there are too many of our children going missing. Something needs to be done. our SEPs, our DSD, everyone needs to ramp up so that our children can be protected.
Okay, last question, Robin. What is the general sentiment within the community in Saldanha Bay and South Africa regarding the ongoing search for Joshlin and the efforts to bring those responsible to justice?
Look, I cannot speak for everybody. That would be a lie. A lot of people, because it's almost a year if you think about it. A lot of people are very optimistic still, especially the community of Saldanha Bay. They are extremely optimistic that, she is somewhere, she is safe. But then there are obviously the realists taking into account that it's been so long. She was only 6 years old. I mean, she
Mm,
missed her seventh birthday.
mm,
What is there for a 6, 7 year old child missing on the streets here in South Africa? So it doesn't really look good. I think with regards to the court case itself, our communities, our nation is paying for blood. They want an example to be made of Kelly Smith and her co-accused because, we might not, as a nation, we go through a lot of things, but you would always hear, no matter what, a mother's love for a child, a mother's love for a child goes beyond anything. And this is the first case like where you see it doesn't seem that that can be true.
mm.
Because what mother conspires to sell her child?
Exactly. Like you can never think of it. I could never have the heart to sell my child. I mean, it's a human being.
Exactly.
It's not a clothing item that I can just give away and then buy something else at a later stage.
And you know what? On that, I think what outrages the public even more is the fact that, firstly, this woman wanted to sell all her kids. It's only Joshlin that is missing. I'm very grateful that Joshlin's siblings, they're on a place of safety. However, this woman is in the dock pregnant again. So, you fear for the unborn child's safety. There are so many people who struggle to conceive, who would love these children. And here, this woman is allegedly, just selling off her kids. And now she's pregnant again.
Mm. It's a very hard case, but Robin, thank you so much for your time.
No worries.
And we'll be waiting for the update on Jocelyn's case. But for now, thank you so
Definitely.
much.
Thank you so